just to give a few reflections on, the Indian of when Tisha B'Av coincides with Shabbos. The Gemara. We know that we're not knowing Avelos before Hesia on Shabbos. And in the last few Doros, originally they used to wear weekday clothes on Shabbos Chazon, but in the last few Doros, the minhag changed. It's both by Hasidim and by It's also in the Bira Gra, the Alpi Gra, that we wear Shabbos clothes. Dvarim Shebetzina remains an issue. Ask your local Orthodox rabbi if you have a shaila. But the Indian of how Shabbos overrides the tremendous avails of Tisha B'Av, and we find Geula Mizos in the Gemara Megillah, Bikesh Rebbe Lakor's Tisha B'Av, and the Gemara says, Lakor Sal Kodaitos, so it comes out, no, it was Tisha B'Av came out on Shabbos that year like it does this year. It says, Ho v'nitche yitche, so it's a very big Indian of this crossover of when Shabbos and Tisha B'Av coincides, on which I just want to give a few ideas. We do know, the famous Chazal, Ilmoli Shmu Yisrael Shtei Shabbosos Miyad HaMiyuni Golin, right? 2 Shabbosos, right? We'd be Zocher to the Geula immediately. You would have thought that happened already, but also why 2? And why Dafka Shabbos? That Shabbos is a Skula for the Geula. So we'll be magdiv something that the Chazal say in certain places that Mashiach doesn't come on Shabbos. Right, so the Brisker Rav has a kasha. The Rambam writes in Hilchos Melachim, and he also writes the same thing in his Yud Gimel Ikrim. Is a din of achakelo b'chol yom sheyavo. Right, person has to be awaiting Mashiach. So if he can't come on Shabbos, so why should you be mechakev for him on Shabbos? So it's not so it's kasha achakelo b'chol yom. So what's brought down the name of the Brisker Rav is that he said, look, I'm waiting for him on Shabbos also. And when Mashiach comes, he'll explain to me that Chazal. All right, but to offer another gang, another mahalach in this. The Rosh Yeshiva, Rav Yaakov Warburg, Zechor Livracha, and we bring this in our Sefer on Yud Gimel Ikrim. So first of all, he says, in biblical Hebrew, right, lechakot, like v'chikisi laHashem, doesn't mean I have an appointment, I'm waiting at a street corner for HaKadosh Baruch Hu to show up. If you read what the first say, it means tikva, yachel, it means yearning. So of course, that when you realize that, you realize even if Mashiach doesn't come on Shabbos, you should still be missing him and feel that he's missing in your life, and you should be miyachel for him, even on Shabbos. It's not, the way Rosh Yeshiva learns, kusha mikara lesa. By the way, this thing for the Brisker, it's not in his writings. This is mipia shmua, right? But there's also another nekuda to be ma'ira, which is the point that we're getting to, right? The Indian of not always be awaiting Mashiach, right? So which is the whole point of what the 3 weeks Bechlal and the 9 days Befrat is about. But what is the Indian in that? The Indian in that is that the Avelos is not to cry over spilt milk, something that happened already. It's not mechoka chochma, right? To cry over the past. You get on with your life. Avelos 12 months, and after Gzer min hames shishtakach min alev, right? But the pshat is like this. We have to not accept our situation in Golus as being normal, right? And the Avelos is about being in discomfort, to be ma'oras. This is not the way it should be, right? And that scene of being mechakel Mashiach, that the Rambam says a person is not mechakel Mashiach. The Rambam in Hilchos calls him not bikaros. You're not being mechakel, right? Because the pshat is you have to be in perpetual yearning. So it should not be called that you're accepting life as it is now as being normal. Right, the Gemara says it's a Yerushalmi and Yuma. Kol dor shelo nivna beis hamikdash biyamav kilu nechrava biyamav. That's a terrible indictment. We're innocent. We were born into this, right? So our forefathers, they caused churban habayis. We're born into that situation. It's a given that we were born into, and because we're not zocher to it being rebuilt, it's as if we destroyed it. So again, the Rosh Yeshiva Zechron Livracha used to explain like this: there's nothing more natural from HaKadosh Baruch Hu's vantage point than a world with a Beis Hamikdash. Nisava HaKadosh Baruch Hu she'elo dira b'tachtonim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu yearned that there should be Gilu Shechina on earth. A Beis Hamikdash is natural. Right? It is as natural as the law of gravity. It's meant to be, and that's what we have to realize. And heyos, that it's natural, so we know when nature is disrupted, like an earthquake or a hurricane, things snap back to the equilibrium. Anytime something is out of its natural bounds, that's lefisha, and then it snaps back. So if it's natural to have a Beis HaMikdash, why didn't it snap back yet? Right? It should have just automatically come down from Shemayim, like according to Rashi, it's going to happen at the end of time. All right? Why didn't it happen? All right? Must be because we're still exerting pressure that's barring its return, because it's the most natural thing. Right? And that's what the whole Avelus that there is. We're not crying about the past. We're crying about the present. Right? That we have to be in discomfort to not accept life as like it currently is as normal, without Gilui Shechina on earth. Right? Gilui Shechina is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu always wanted, was by design how he envisioned his world. So now what Beis HaMikdash is in Mokom, right? That it's they talk about having your true north, your real north, right? That the Beis HaMikdash, Chazal tells us, is point center of the globe, right? Eretz Yisrael is in the middle of the Yishuv, and Yerushalayim is in the middle of Eretz Yisrael, and Har Bayis is in the middle of Yerushalayim. All right, what that means is that with the Gilui Shechina, there to, position yourself relative to that, it means that you don't lose your bearings, you don't lose your values, right? You have like a real point, absolute point in space, and that's the secret that, Elam Mishpat Shetos, what did it say in the previous parsha, Lo Sai B'Malos Al Mizbechi, Melamed Shetosim Sanhedrin Etzel Mizbech. The Grand Rabbinical Court, that was the living embodiment of Torah Sheba'al Peh, had to be in the Lishkas HaGazis, right by the Mizbeach, by the Makom of Gilui Shechina, to teach you that Torah is not a theory. Torah is not ideas. You could argue a hin, you could argue a hair. It's a reality. And where Torah is legislated in its final form, the highest court that has the highest authority to determine what the Torah Sheba'al Peh really holds, has to be where there's Gilui Shechina. Right, that's what's missing in life. And all the tefillas are v'sechazena einenu b'shuv chol tzion brachim v'hareinu Hashem Elokei b'nachmas tzircha ki ayin b'ayin yiru v'shav dok v'tishkach throughout Tanakh, and all tefillas, let us see again. Right, because we still have Torah on earth, but it's all theoretical. The pasuk says in Eicha, right? Seems theoretical. It's real, but you can't see it. Right, the Beis HaMikdash makes you see it. Right, and so it says the Gemara in Sanhedrin Daf Lamed Ches. The pasuk in Eicha, b'machashakim hoshivani k'mesei olam zu Talmud Shel Bava. That's Talmud Bavli. That's why Talmud Bavli has to go with so much pilpul, because we're not sure if we're right, because we don't see the truth. So you have to try every single option. Even though after two dots, I could say, mechavat k'deshanina mi'ikara, could decide the best way was the first way, but you got to check, because we don't see. And that's why the Bavli says, Tashma, come here, because we don't see. You compare that to the Zohar or the Yerushalmi that written in Eretz Yisrael that still had a lachluchis of the Beis HaMikdash that was nechrav only shortly before. Over there it says what? Tachazi, come see. Right? That's what we're missing. That's the mile. From the Chorah Bayis Nitla Ruach HaKodesh Min Neviim, the Navi sees. Right? That's what's missing. That's what's missing. We don't see. Right? Kedusha is it's like an idea. Right, and it's the idea, and we want it to be manifest, something as real as seeing is believing. So, kayadua, the connection between the Beis HaMikdash and Shabbos is quite well known throughout the Chumash. As Mikdash Torah Shavsai Tishmaro Mikdashi Tiro Ani Hashem, right? Or in Parshas Kisisa, the Tzivya of Shabbos and Melechas HaMishkan, and we learn out what's also to do on Shabbos from Melechas HaMishkan. And it's throughout the Chumash that the two are put together. And the Sfarim explain an amazing thing, because that the Sefer Yetzirah divides up the levels of reality into three categories: Olam, Shana, Nefesh, place in the world, right? And there's time of year, and there is also the type of person. Like Marshiva used to always give an example just to illustrate. It's not a Sefer Yetzirah, but to illustrate, you have the Kohen Gadol, Yom Kippur, Kodesh HaKadoshim. These three go together. That time, that place, that type of person. So, but what the Beis HaMikdash is in Olam, in place, is what Shabbos is in time. And that's why these two are samuch to each other constantly, right? We learn out what's usher to do on Shabbos from the Beis Hamikdash because how the Beis Hamikdash is kedusha manifest in makom. That's what Shabbos is. That's kedusha manifest in time. It's not just tam zman of Isser Malacha. It's a time of Gilui Elokus Mamish, right? There's to illustrate how far this goes. There's a famous Gemara. You're traveling and you forget when is Shabbos, right? What do? Right? So there's different shittas over there. The way paskin is that every single day you do the minimum to survive, and every seventh day you make special. So the Maharal had a brother, Rav Asher of Regensburg, who wrote a Sefer HaZikaron. The Sefer has been out of print for decades, but I heard this from Rav Shiva Zichron Livracha. He asked the following kasha. He doesn't know what the Gemara is talking about. Shabbos comes, you feel it. So what's Gemara talking about? Shabbos comes, you feel it. That's the kasha. The teretz is, you see from the Gemara Chiddush, it's shaykh not to feel Shabbos. Right? And it's only 500 years ago, right? We know we don't wear tefillin on Shabbos, because it's an ice. So the Ramchal explains in Derech Hashem, that's just a halachic way of expressing it. But really, Kedushas HaShabbos is even lamala from Kedushas Tefillin. It's lamala from, and so Shabbos is 25 hours of wearing a Kedusha on you. That's lamala from Tefillin, right? Lamala b'kodesh, the Rambam had a son, Rabbeinu Avram ben Rambam, right, that he wrote a sefer called Sefer HaMaspik Lov de Hashem, and his Hakdama to the sefer says, I'll explain to you what this sefer is about. This sefer is about doing, lifnim mishur sadin. Now, what do I mean by that? I'll give you an example from Shabbos. A person could, just refrain from malacha, kedas, be makbid, al kala kibachamura. And you know what that's called? He wasn't Machal Shabbos. A person who wants to tap into Kedushas HaShabbos, he says, has to work with the mind. He has to think about what HaKadosh was borei on every single day. And if he was borei these things during the sixth day, that means HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself is above all these things. And think about Yichud HaBorei, how he's in a class, the creator's in a class on his own. Being bizboning from Ma'aser Bereishis, how from Ma'aser Bereishis you see the godless of the Borei, that he's above all these things. And he says, and that's a higher level. But he says he could reach a higher level, that the person is mamish mekayim, the crosshair v'az tis'ana gal Hashem, and he describes over there that, he's in a tremendous state of dveikus, that he doesn't even see a wall that's in front of him, and his stomach is begging for food, and he doesn't care. He doesn't even feel his hunger because in a perpetual situation of dveikus, meaning Shabbos is in a real experience of kedusha they could be zocheh to during this man, mamash parallel to having a real experience of kedusha in makom with the makom hamikdash, right? And that's why by no because it's called we're mechanic Shabbos Kodesh. It's like Kochim. It's like the Beis Hamikdash. It's Kedusha manifest. The problem is with us that we're not clued in. So Imela comes out there on Shabbos. It's like if a person is tapped into Shabbos, it's like he has a Beis Hamikdash. So it's even bigger than being Mechakel Biyaso. It's like he's living in Mashiach Tzaitin, in Mashiach's time. Right, if he's totally tapped into Kedushas HaShabbos, and that's a secret that in the Zmiris of Shabbos, right, we talk about Binyan Yerushalayim, right, after like in the Ritzei, right, right, or we say in the Koribon Kodei Karavusa, Prok Yasar Pumarvasa, Lemikdoshech Tuv Kodesh Kuchin, Asar Di Beyechton, Ruchin V'Nafshin. What does that mean, Ruchin V'Nafshin? We'll talk in this week's Parsha Sheet Be'ez Hashem, right? But the Shabbos is mamish an experience of kedusha mamish. Kedusha is manifest mamish. Shabbos is in time what the Beis Hamikdash is in space, right? And therefore, that's what Rabbeinu Kosh was saying. That if you have Shabbos, there's no Tisha B'av that day. The Kedusha Shabbos supplements for the vacuum that Tisha B'av comes to mark. Right? So we don't pass like Rabbeinu HaKadosh, but that's why our couple is Docha de Avelus, right? Because at this time, the Kedushas HaShabbos is mamish the b'chin of Kedushas HaMikdash in Zman, and right to further just to add another point on this, Kayadua, right? The Beis Hamikdash was nechar because of Avodah Zarah, Geula Rosh Shvichus Damim, right? And on Shabbos, that says Kosh. The pasuk says that Asheinos Yazos Ben Adam Yatzo Shomer Shabbos Mechalo Afilu Oived Avodah Zor Kedoro Shel Enosh Mochulo. It's a kaporim for Avodah Zor that was machrav the bias. Now the second bias was nechrav because of sinas chinam. Now here in this community we have an eruv. What's an eruv? Which, by the way, it's probably not a coincidence that we do the Erev Pesach, which is Chag Geula, right? Erev is that your makne, that everyone will eat together. This Suda, it's Mamash Avaskina, Matikun for the, and it's Erev, it's Ma'arif, it connects all Yidden together, the Hepech of Sinas Chinam, the Hepech of Sinas Chinam. And that's what we have to do, that's what we have to be Zocha for, that if we would keep Shabbos current, now you can understand what it means, Il-Mol Yishmo Yisrael Shtei Shabbosos, but it means not just from Zehirus, from Isser Molacha, but it's to tap into the Kedusha of Shabbos. And with this, Simcha B'Rem Pashil explains why you need 2 Shabbosos. Really, 1 Shabbos is good enough. Like the Shabbos of Rabbeinu Akarsh. He felt real Kedusha Shabbos, so he was Mavatal Tisha B'Av, because Shabbos supplemented for the vacuum that Tisha B'Av marks, right? But if you want to feel Kedusha Shabbos, you need a Shabbos ahead of time. So the first Shabbos, this is what the Sfarim say, first Shabbos is to clean you up a little bit so that the week that comes after it, you can live the week b'kedusha, mikoach the Shabbos that extricates you a little bit. So you can now face the week with a little bit of kedusha Shabbos, right? and then with the schus, you have a great week because of the Shabbos that passed. So you come to the next Shabbos, and that's Mamash Shabbos Kilchasa, and you're zochet to Mamash Fil Kedusha Shabbos that brings Mamash Kedushas HaMikdash Bizman and supplements, and if we're ever zochet, we should be zochet. We start with this Shabbos, right? And if not, then Shabbos Nachamu, Shabbos will be practiced, and Shabbos will be the Shabbos of Nechama. We zochet that the Kedusha of Shabbos, which is the Kedushas HaMikdash, will be Chal, and we'll have the Geula Shlema B'Mehir B'Yameinu. Shlema B'Mehir B'Yameinu. Shlema B'Mehir B'Yameinu.